Morning, everyone. This is Main Street Sanity, a retiree's take. The retired guy here. Today, just gonna be a little short cast. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what the Socialist Communist Party wants from Americans. And I've said this before. People call them the Democrat Socialist Party. There's nothing democratic about them. They're socialist, communist, and some of them I would say are terrorists. But we'll just right now kind of stay with socialist, communist. And some people might think, well, I sound like a conspiratist, conspiracy theories. No, I just listen to what they say and just pay attention to what they say. And first I'm going to start out with their supreme leader, Sanders. And I said this in one of my earlier cat podcasts. Back 6-7 years ago, Bernie Sanders was touting the problems was millionaires and billionaires. We need to tax the millionaires and the billionaires. They're not paying their fair share. If you listen to Bernie Sanders now, the problem is billionaires. It's no longer millionaires, it's billionaires. And stop and think about it. Why has it moved from millionaires to billionaires? It's not that we have that many billionaires over millionaires. And Sanders is a millionaire. So he's not going to want to tax himself and lose money. He's not going to do that. So now he's going after people who have more money than him. So Sanders doesn't have enough money with his, I think it's 3 houses. He cruises around on a private jet and all that. But for all you socialists, communists, that doesn't bother you. So, like I said, any of these socialist communists that are telling you it's a billionaire's problem, look at their bank accounts. I bet you most of them are millionaires. And they're not going to give up their homes or their money. So, I had to start with that. Now let's just go into what do they really want? They have a following. The following are most of these college students that came out of college. I would say most of them, I bet you if you looked, a Bachelor of Arts degree in nothing, expecting that they're going to get a 6-figure-a-year job, not knowing anything. No experience. And like I said, no real education background besides a Bachelor of Arts or something like that. And I'm just guessing at that. But we should look at it. Hold on here. Sorry. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. So, yeah, they come out of college, it's not that they can't get a job. They don't want to look for a job. Because they have been taught, indoctrinated all these years that they are deserved something. And listen to what they're getting sold. And listen to what they're demanding. What they're demanding is, I should get free housing. Now, how many of you out here that listen, a few of you that do, wish there was more, but didn't have to pay for your housing one way or another? I've always had to pay for my housing. They want free money. They should be given, you make too much money, so you should give me some of yours. They haven't worked for it, but they're demanding it. Now, how many of you out there have sitting and walked up to somebody and say, I demand your money? If you did, they figured they were being robbed and you'd be arrested. In all reality. But that's what they expect. They expect free food. You know, you should give me food. I shouldn't have to pay for my groceries. How many out there of you haven't paid for your don't pay for your groceries? We pay for ours. These are the things that they're demanding. They say they're deserved. And I'm sorry. The only thing they deserve is to get their ass up and go to work. And I just hate to say that plain and simple. If you want something, you go out there and work for it. I drive all the time. I see places, signs, help wanted. So, go out there and get a job. Well, doing that's beneath me. Well, then go hungry. Go live with mommy and daddy and have them support you for the rest of your life. But no, they want what you have worked for, what we have worked for. They say, you worked for it, you shouldn't have everything you worked for. They think they deserve part of what you have worked for. And that's the part that maddens me. And this is what's being sold by that terrorist up in Detroit. And I saw something good the other day as somebody says, don't make Michigan the next California. Which is true. New York's already that way. So we got one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. New York, California, and both suck. Everyone's leaving their states, and they're going to basically maybe 3 or 4 states. They're going to North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, and Texas. Personally, I like them to keep their politics out of Florida, where I live, unless they're Republican or an independent who sits there and says, I'm going to vote Republican. Because next thing you know, we're going to end up like California and New York. And that's you look at those 2 states already. They suck. Everyone's leaving. You got Kami Mandami there, who was hilarious, got booed out of Staten Island, I think it was, which was pretty great. Hold on a second. Sorry again. Okay, sorry again. And so, yeah, as I said, Kami Mandami getting booed out of Staten Island. He was kind of smiling and so on, but yeah. And you don't hear anything anymore about what's going on except for, the communist news stations, socialist communist news stations, and so on. But, his programs just putting them more in debt. And the sad part is, are the people in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Ohio, Indiana, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Montana, Utah, Iowa, Wisconsin, Wyoming, Idaho, New Mexico. Are they paying for that debt? Yes, we are. There's no doubt about it. We're paying for California's debt, New York's debt. And until, the Senate and Congress says, you know what? No more. You go into debt, that's your problem. Why should we bail them out? Federal tax dollars should go to roads, and that would be the interstate systems, national defense, obviously, education that's supervised, and that's public education. I'm talking kindergarten through 12th. University should not get one federal dollar. You want to know something? If you can't get enough enrollment and you close your doors, fine, you close your doors. I don't care. Because they're just indoctrinating people. We take federal dollars away from these universities that have billions in endowments. Hey, they can do what they want then. But if they want federal dollars, we should sit there and tell them the curriculum, and we should be able to sit there and check what's being taught and how it's being taught by these so-called professors and educators. Think about it. If we're paying for kids to be indoctrinated, that's wrong. Let someone else pay for that and not our federal tax dollars. I don't see how we continue to do that. That's one thing I wish the president would do, saying all private universities or these universities, we're stopping all federal dollars going to them. Period. And I would rather see more money put into trades like electricians, welders, like Clay Travis, or not Clay Travis, what's his name? Guy who does dirty jobs. I can picture him. But he's the one who came up. We should be doing more into trades where people can get good paying jobs. I mean, you get a good welder, a good electrician, they're making $50, $60 an hour. And that's not chump change, I'll tell you that right there. That's a lot of money. You know, some of these idiots that don't want to, I can't find a job. Here's a trade school, learn to weld, go be a welder. They would sit and say, that's too hard to work. And it all gets back to that. I don't want to work, but I want to get paid. I don't want to work hard because that's too hard. I don't want to do that. Like you say, it's a vicious cycle. So, anyways, trying to wrap this all up. What do they want? Sanders no longer wants to worry about millionaires because he is one. It's all billionaires now. As soon as he becomes a billionaire, it'll be multi-billionaires. So if you got more than $1 billion, if you got $2 billion or more, he'll want to tax you if he has $1 billion. See, that goalpost always moves with Sanders. You got the socialist, communist, terrorists that want to open borders, get rid of the police, get rid of the national defense, get rid of the Senate, the Supreme Court, and have Congress elect a leader. Sounds a little bit like North Korea, China, those places. You want young people these days that don't want to work, but want part of your income that you work for because they don't think you deserve it. They want free housing because you have housing. They should get it free because you have it, and they deserve it. They want free groceries, and they don't want to work. Oh, they want free medical. Free medical. You have states with idiot governors that have, and mayors that have run their cities into debt. And they want the American taxpayers to pay for that debt because they don't mind spending your money. And they're happy to do it. So in a nutshell, that's what we have that is looking to run our government. And hopefully enough people sit there and say enough is enough. Oh, the last thing, Wisconsin, I will give you this. If you elect that idiot that doesn't want thinks Thanksgiving is racism, doesn't like Christmas, doesn't like any of the holidays, and follows the socialist communist playbook, that's on you guys. Strictly on you. If that's how you want, if you want your state to be overrun like Minnesota, be crime ridden like Illinois, be bankrupt like California and New York, elect her. But listen to now how she's changing her mind. Why? Just like all of them, because she wants to get elected. So I know I said this before, but I didn't mean that. Yeah, they meant it. But now it's like that Governor Schamberger in Virginia and the one in Jersey, how they said, well, I'm a moderate. Until they got elected, they're not very moderate, are they? But that's, once again, Virginia, New Jersey, make your bed, sleep in it. So, okay, I've ranted enough today. Again, my website, I keep saying that. My email is retiredguys@myyahoo.com. Drop me a line. I post this on many platforms, including YouTube. If you like it, say something. If you don't, go ahead and say something. I listen to everybody. I'll answer any emails and all emails, honestly. And pass it on. Just if you have somebody and you did like it, say, hey, listen to this. I'd appreciate it. And until the next time, hey, this is a Retired Guy. Have a good one.